Hi, in today's session, we are going to cover an important topic related with the research called measurement and scale. Let us understand the concept of measurement and scale and the different types for it. First, what is measurement? Make it simple. Measurement is nothing but when you are giving a number to a particular object is what we call it as measurement. And what is scale? Scale is a tool that is used to measure the object. Say for example, if I want to check my weight, I'll be using a weighing machine, and let's say that my weight is 70 kg, and this 70 kg is what we call it as measurement. And the weighing machine, which is the tool that I have used to measure my weight, is what we call it as scale. And this scale has a continuous series of measurement, say from 1 kg to 150 kg. So scale not only can be defined as a tool for measuring the measurement, but we can also define scale as something which has a continuum of measurement. Right. Let's come back to the research. So I have told you very simply that scale is nothing but something which can be used to capture the measurement or a tool for measurement. So whatever question that the researcher is asking to a respondent, we can call all the questions as scale when it comes to the measurement. Whatever response that the respondent is giving is what we call it as measurement, right? So with this understanding, let us get into the different classification of measurement scale. So clearly speaking, we can classify the scale into 4 different categories. 1. First type, we can classify the scale as nominal scale. What do you mean by this nominal scale? Look at the word nominal, which indicate that it is nothing but a name. So typically speaking, this nominal scale is nothing but when we are assigning some numbers or symbol to a particular object with an objective just to identification is what we call it as nominal scale. So that means you are just labeling some numbers or symbol to a particular object, and the objective of you labeling it or you naming is just to give some kind of identification. Say for example, when it comes to questions, like you are asked a question to a respondent like please indicate the type of gender that you belong to, 1 for male and 2 for female. Now this 1 and 2 indicate just a label for different type of genders. I have told 2 for female. Can I come to a conclusion that females are better than male just because I have given number 2 for female and number 1 for male? No. So this 1 for male or 2 for female, it is just merely meant for identification purpose. So the labeling what we are giving with numbers or for symbols, it is just only meant for identification purpose, nothing else. Right. Let me give you another example so that you can understand it in a better way. You all know the jersey number of Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Sachin Tendulkar. You can see in the slide that Virat Kohli is having the jersey number as 18, Mahendra Singh Dhoni 7 and Sachin Tendulkar 10. Can I say that Virat Kohli is better than MS Dhoni and Sachin Tendulkar just because he has scored 18, whereas Dhoni's number is only 7 and Sachin Tendulkar is number 10? No, absolutely not. This 18 is just for labeling purpose, which doesn't have any relevance when it comes to the arithmetic operations. Or can I say that Dhoni has been given number 7 because he is going to bat in the 7th place? No. Same is applicable for Sachin Tendulkar also. So this number 7, number 10, number 18 doesn't have any role in the batting order, or it doesn't have any role when it comes to the arithmetic operation. So when it comes to the nominal scale, we cannot do any kind of arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, right? So this nominal scale, we can do only one arithmetic operation, that is counting. So we can do operations like frequency tab, mode, that's it. So we can't think beyond that. So this is what we call it as nominal scale, where typically we use this scale only for identification purpose, nothing else. The second type of scale which we are going to discuss is ordinal scale. How do we have to remember this? Just focus on this word order, which indicate that rank. So all these type of scale is nothing but a rank order scale. Here the numbers are used to assign the relative position of the object. Make a note of this word, a relative position, which is nothing but order. So look at this example so that we can have a better understanding of this topic. Let's say that you have designed a questionnaire and you have given this questionnaire to your respondents, and the questionnaire reads like this. You are asking the respondent to rank the below B schools, and you have added 4 B schools: IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, IIPM and RBS Business School, and you have the rank from 1 to 4. So let's say that the respondents have given IIM Ahmedabad rank 1, IIM Bangalore rank 2, IIPM rank 3, RBS rank 4. Of course, the difference in score between 1 and 2 is 1, and the difference in score between 2 and 3 is also 1. So with this difference, can I conclude that the difference between IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore is same as the difference between IIM Bangalore and IIPM? No. Though the difference between the ranking is only 1, I can't equate the difference between IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore with that of the difference between IIM Bangalore and IIPM. The reason being, though IIM Ahmedabad is slightly better than IIM Bangalore, I can definitely say that IIM Bangalore is much better than IIPM. But this magnitude is not rightly captured by the ordinal scale, because ordinal scale has given only the relative position of the object. So it has not actually captured the real magnitude of the object relative to the other objects. Fine. So I'm sure that with this understanding you will be able to appreciate the difference between nominal scale and ordinal scale. Let's get into the third type of scale, that is interval scale. So in interval scale, we not only know the order but also the exact difference between the objects. So unlike ordinal scale, it is not just only the relative position, but we are actually capturing the position, in fact the magnitude in terms of the rating. That is why we can say that all type of rating scale comes under the category of interval scale. Though it is capturing the rating, we can compare the objects, one object with another object in terms of subtraction or in terms of addition, but we cannot compare one object with another object in terms of multiplication or in terms of division. I can also say that we cannot have any meaningful interpretation for the ratio scale, and there is nothing like absolute zero is present. The zero what we have in interval scale is arbitrary zero. I'm sure with this example you'll be able to understand it in a better way about the interval scale. Look at this example. Let's say that in your question you have asked the respondent to give the rating from 1 to 10 for the below B schools. In our example, B schools like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, IIPM and RBS. Let's say that our respondents have responded, given 10 rating for IIM Ahmedabad, 8 rating for IIM Bangalore, 5 rating for IIPM and 4 rating for RBS. Can I say that IIM Ahmedabad is 5 points better than IIPM? Absolutely yes. But can I say that IIM Ahmedabad is twice better than IIPM? Absolutely not. Because it is not necessary that IIM Ahmedabad should be twice better than IIPM. It may be thrice, or it may be 5 times, or it may be 10 times. But this magnitude is not been rightly captured by the interval scale. So this is the potential disadvantage of interval scale, which we cannot overcome it. That means I can compare one object with respect to another object in terms of difference, but I cannot compare one object with reference to the another object in terms of ratio. Hope you have understood this. Now we can have another example of interval scale as whenever you're doing some kind of Paytm transaction, you might get some rating from 1 to 5. That is the 5-star rating, 1 star or 5 star. And whenever you're doing a Google Pay transaction, you might also get some 5 stars, 1 stars to 5 star. But you might be wondering that why is that so? These people are not asking a 0-star rating. Why there is nothing like 0 rating for an interval scale? The reason is interval scale doesn't have any true 0. Either you have to go with 1 to the maximum level. So all these examples, let it be an attitudinal scale, let it be a rating scale, or the kind of scale that you find it after buying Amazon, Paytm, or say Flipkart, all these type of ratings, whatever you're giving, all these things comes under the category of interval scale, right? So let us get into the last scale of today's discussion, which is what we call it as ratio scale. So this is the highest level of measurement. It has the characteristics of all the scales: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale. Plus it has its own characteristics, because it not only compares the difference, it also captures the ratio also. I'll give you an example so that you can have a better understanding on this topic. Let's say that you have asked the question to the respondents and you have captured questions like same the 4B schools, and you have given the average placements of all the 4B schools by checking their websites, and you found that IIM Ahmedabad, the average placement is 40 lakhs per annum, IIM Bangalore is 15 lakh per annum, IIPM 10 lakh per annum, RBS 5 lakh per annum. Now here also I'm going to compare IIPM with IIM Ahmedabad. Now, when I'm comparing IIPM with IIM Ahmedabad, can I say that the IIMA average package is twice better than IIPM? Absolutely, I can say that. That means I can compare one object with respect to another object in terms of multiplication or division. So I can compare one object with respect to another object in terms of difference and also in terms of multiplication or division. So meaning I can do all kind of arithmetic operations through this scale. Now I can take another examples also. You can look at this slide. You can see various types of example, like when you are capturing the age, when you are capturing the income, when you are capturing the revenue, all these things comes under the category of ratio scale. If someone's age is 10 and another person's age is 20, definitely I can say that the person whose age is 20 is twice older than the person whose age is 10. Now I'll show you one more exercise also by end of this presentation. Okay, one more thing, when you talk about the interval scale, here also I can do all kind of arithmetic operations. I can use inferential statistics. I mean, whatever arithmetic operations that I can do for a ratio scale, most of them I can do that for interval scale. So basically speaking, this interval scale and ratio scales comes under the category of metric scale. So if we have a metric scale, you can do all kind of inferential statistics like ANOVA, student t-test. So I think with this understanding, we can wind up today's session, and hope today's session you found it very useful. Thank you.